and stuff. You're making me feel like a baby here. I don't have kids.
How do you think I feel? I'm 19.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Yeah, now you're making me feel old. I don't know how to feel.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, starting the stream button has been hit, and we'll see. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to all actually get moving. I will go ahead and pull that up to get you that link that you requested. But as it gets started here, the PunkGenerator YouTube channel is up to 87 subs, and the immediate goal is 100. Because there's a couple things you get when you hit 100 that I'm really looking for, and of course beyond that to keep going as far as I can get it. So I mentioned that, and it looks like the stream is going to come up live. And there.
I think I'm already subbed.
Yeah, so I appreciate anybody can throw. Now I say that I don't want to do subs just to have subs. That's kind of pointless. But you know, but anybody that would be interested. Oh, now I'm getting feedback from somebody. Oh, probably my fault. Probably because I just started the stream, pulled up the YouTube page to get the link. So now I'm listening to it. Okay, so get rid of that. All right, so over in Discord general chat, I've thrown the link to the stream on YouTube. You got it? Okay, good. There is that. I close these extra windows because I don't need anything extra open.
How many players are we expecting today?
Well, let me see what we've got right now. We're probably one more, I think. Let me see. Butcher was the new person looks like isn't going to be able to be here. Realized too late that he had a university conflict. I assume it's a he. Yeah, Antonio. So yeah, probably. Anyway, Mirage, you are here. Marcellus said he'd be here in just a minute. Stringer is here. Vex is not here. That's who else we haven't heard from again. But he hasn't been to a game in a month or more, but we have heard from him a little bit, so we'll see. He may be.
I mean, I hope we don't end up with a 3-man party.
Well, it's kind of what I have determined whenever I've decided, okay, it's time to look for some new players. I need to invite as many as 3 to 4 times as many people to the game as open slots as I actually want to have, or people as players as I actually need. Because I get people interested, yep, I want to play, yep, I want to build a character, and then they never play. And I've figured out that if I need one open slot, if I invite 3 to 4 people, I'll get 2 to 3 to build a character, and I might get one of those to actually play.
I find there's people who say, yeah, I want to play. They join the server, then you never hear from them again. Mm-hmm. There's the people who go all the way through designing their character, often with my help, and then you never hear from them again.
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe, I should help them with their character instead.
Well, in this case, in this round of potential new players, 1, 2, and 3. We had 3 people actually build characters, and only the one of you have shown up. Actually,
well, to be fair, the other guy, he actually has a reason.
Well, he does have a reason. I'm not, and I don't mean to belittle or berate or any of those type of words. Any particular person, I don't mean it that way. I'm just speaking. This is the way the averages seem to work out. Without reason or whatever.
It's pretty scummy to say you're going to show up and then just not show up.
Yeah, it's the like you say, the people that say they're going to and then ghost, just disappear. Those are the ones that kind of annoy me. We actually had what did I say? There were 3 that built a character. There was a 4th person that joined the Discord and talked to him some, and they were going to build a character, and they actually joined the game. But then they quit the game. They left the Discord server. Just poof. I sent him a message, say, hey, is your character ready for me to look at? And I realized they weren't on the server anymore. And they weren't in the game anymore.
I mean,
So-
some people do get cold feet, especially when they're going to play with a bunch of strangers.
Right. Well, it's different in playing online too. It took me some time, a little bit, to get used to playing online versus actually in person. And there's still some things I kind of like better of playing in person. Being able to sit across from the other people playing is cool, is fun. But especially right now, this is what we got. Don't anybody take that wrong. Marcellus, you are here. You are muted, but you are here. Or you were muted.
I'm still eating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No
I'm
problem.
still eating. That's why I'm muted.
That's good. That's okay. We probably don't need to hear you chewing.
Things I find with people who join the game are such things as you put it on somewhere like Table Finder or what have you, that you're running a game for these, and they roll up an evil PC, then they drop out because they don't like the fact that it's sadistic and brutal. And what were they expecting?
Right.
Yeah, one of the guys that I used to play with, he had that issue with a group where it was said at the start of the campaign, they were like, okay, this is going to be an evil campaign, so make some evil characters. And then this guy, he did something evil, and the entire party turned on him and were like, how could you do that? And he was like, what?
Evil campaigns are a fine balance, though, because you need to try and justify a reason that all these evil characters are working together.
Hmm.
Well, there's that. Right. I don't think I've ever played in a truly just all-out evil.
I haven't.
Like, chaotic stuff.
I wouldn't.
Very
no.
chaotic, but no, there was a actually, just real quick. There's actually, I didn't get back to it. I meant to post further in it. There was a topic came up in the Cyberpunk 2020 subreddit. Somebody was asking about empathy, and comparing it to or it got compared to, I don't remember if they did in the original post or through people's responses, but it got compared to alignment in any case. And some people were saying, well, yeah, because if you have a high empathy, you wouldn't do anything that's evil. Well, wait a minute, no, this is Cyberpunk.
Why not?
What's your definition of good and evil in Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I don't have any.
It's not that black and white. It's more fluid. It depends.
Yeah, I've got when I run it, at least I've got NPCs that are a bit more reasonable and a bit nicer and have a bit more morals, and then I have other NPCs that are complete human garbage, but it's not good or evil. It's just
right.
The sliding scale of humanity.
It's a completely different kind of game, and I meant I didn't get back to posting it. I meant to somebody when I saw the one about somebody was saying that they treat it like I said, if somebody has a real high empathy, well, they wouldn't do something, they wouldn't go kill an innocent, because that you couldn't have a high empathy and relate to people and do that. Well, why not?
I don't see why not.
Why not?
If your character is actually sadistic and derives pleasure from making others suffer, the higher his empathy, the more he feels they're suffering.
Right. Well, and you get a politician or a media or a rocker or somebody else might very well be able to empathize and communicate and deal well with people publicly, but in their private life be an asshole or be evil, whatever.
Yeah, just look at
That
like
doesn't-
modern day celebrities.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we had, there was a guy not too long ago that was a movie guy that did some pretty damn evil stuff on the private life that in public seemed like a good person. You know, it happens, and that's it's just that's one of those bigger fundamental differences between cyberpunk and cyberpunk type games, not just our Talsorian specifically, but between that and games like D&D or other fantasy stuff like that in those you get a more black and white definition and you have an alignment scale. In this game, it's more like I hate to say it's like real life because it's a long way to real life, but
Yeah. Have you seen that Samuel L. Jackson film, Unthinkable?
I don't think I have actually.
It's the one where terrorists have got hold of nuclear material to make atomic bombs, and they put out the information that we've built 3 of these bombs. They're in 3 different American cities, and as proof, here is the location of one of them. They go to the location of one of them. There's a bomb there. They check it out, and it's got all the enriched uranium in it, so it will actually, it's a working atom bomb.
Right.
So that is proof that they've actually been able to make, if they've been able to make one, they've been able to make more than one. And they get and they've got the guy who came forward with the information. And Samuel L. Jackson is the interrogator who, goes as far as outright torture to get the information. And all the people that are working with him keep bursting into the room to stop him because he's gone too far. And I cannot help but feel in that kind of situation where the nuclear material that was stolen is enough to make either 3 or 4 bombs. They've proven they can make one. Who is going to stop with torture when there's several million lives on the line? I know I wouldn't.
That's kind of that. What's the difference between black and white and what you really have to do?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, I apologize taking this minute yet. Okay, that's all done finally. Sorry, I'm coming up with a way as we are speaking to bring our new player in because, like I said, I actually had intended to bring you in through the other new player. I had a plan planned out for them. But that's okay. That's the way it works. All right. Was there... I'm just looking over what I put on your sheet yesterday here again. Okay. Well, I'm just going to do it. I hate to do it the kind of almost cop-out way, but I guess I'm just going to do it. So, Sewer Rat, you are a solo. You have been assigned a condo in... Flip over here. In this is it's my own name I made up, and I still have trouble pronouncing it. Anyway, Tokutomi Square here. This is a condo building, which this doesn't quite match. The map here doesn't perfectly match the actual building. But in any case, you've been assigned by the company a condo here. The company has some interests in Charter Hill South, which is the whole area. I'll give some background here for our new player. This whole area south of the highway is considered Charter Hill South. The company has interests in this area and would rather that the current process of it about to be demolished and turned into a complex of buildings, including a giant mall, offices and residential, they'd like rather that it didn't go through. So they're just sending you in to do whatever you might be able to do to try and get that, well, to try and stop that from happening, to keep the status quo in the area, by whatever means you feel needed. Of course, without directly implicating the company. So that's you here. You're going to have I'll get you a condo number, so you'll have a place in this building. You will have, so in game terms, you will have gotten this apartment a few days before, so that you'd had some time to get acclimated before the game started, which we'll give you some more information here on that in a moment. To give you more world info, until recently, this was a low-ish but not bad mod zone, this whole area in here. This was a wall between that area and the true combat zone, free fire zones, with a single gate here. However, just recently, within the last couple of days, well, actually, I should say over the last several weeks, first of all, there have been some explosions. Some buildings have blown up. There's been some other issues, and if you just watch the most of the regular press and the corporate media, it's been gang activity and stuff like that. If you watch the reporting of a becoming more and more famous media named Stringer, he's blaming it on a particular couple of corporations, Arasaka and others, and Robert Roberts Property Management's company. Just in the last day or two, the city council has declared this all of Charter Hill South a free fire zone. They gave very publicly, they gave Militech a contract to try and sedate, to quell the violence in this area, so that Robert Roberts could continue their activity of taking over properties, dozing them, preparing for their major construction project. All of these red boxed areas are properties that Robert Roberts has already taken over. This area had been, there was a group of fixers that tried to bring some gangs together and do something good for the community, build this area back up. They actually convinced the Bozos actually opened a publicly accessible circus by day anyway. Most people didn't want to go around there at night, but they actually had, you could have people from the main part of the city actually brought their kids down to the circus, or still do. Western Stars had a Western themed trick riding and shooting and all that show over here. The Philharmonic Vampires, the Juilliards used to have a stage, but that one blew up. That building got blown up. And there's some other, that gives you some real basics of this area and what's been going on.
So it's Robert Roberts' company that wants to demolish all the buildings.
Right, Robert Roberts, which they've got a few different company names: Robert Roberts Property Management, Leasing, Real Estate, whatever. But yeah, they've had a plan apparently for some time, and they had been slowly kind of creeping in and taking over a couple of properties in the area. But then just a couple of days ago, the whole changing the status, turning into a free fire. Arasaka also, by the way, Arasaka is supposed to be securing this border to make sure that the violence doesn't spread into the rest of the city. But yeah, Robert Roberts is the one that's trying to demolish this whole area. They're basically going to turn this entire area into a giant mall, offices, residential, big building, mega mall kind of place with its some other ancillary buildings and stuff. And for Sewer Rat, which do you have actually a character name yet? Actually, I just
like
noticed that.
An alias.
Yeah, you just go by Facility.
I'm trying to think of what would be a good alias. I think it's probably better for a nickname to crop up somehow through its behavior.
Okay, that's cool. All right. So we'll leave.
How about Molotok? It's Russian for the hammer.
I'm aware. Yeah, it makes sense, I suppose.
It's up to you. Yeah, it's up as the player. It's up to you if you want to do that or if you just want to wait.
But
Most
people
of the
end
other
up
Russian I know is obscene.
people end up calling me Molotov cocktail, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I was thinking that, but we were gonna just let it play out. Okay, so
Yeah, well,
you can decide. I guess you can have a few minutes when you start introducing yourself. You can decide. You can have decided by then, whatever, if that works for you.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, yeah, so we got that. They give you some history. That's the information you got from the company. In-game terms, we're going to start, we're going to pick up right after the, I'm trying to think of exactly where we left it last time. You guys had completed the break-in. You were back to your places. You were going to spend the rest of the evening at the big block party. Is that where we
That's
left
correct.
it? Okay.
Yep.
So, we're at there. This evening, there is. We're gonna say it's still going on, although we're getting near dawn at this point. This whole area, this block, there is a big block party event, bordering on like a fair or a something like that party. Lots of alcohol, lots of other stuff going on all along the block. Now, you saw stuff going up for this party, and then after that, at some point, there was a big news conference thing that the city appreciated and was so happy to approve, and Militech approved a lenience in the curfew that was set. For to allow the residents here to have the party. Of course, the party was being scheduled, and nobody actually applied for anything. That was a save face thing. It was obvious. It was completely obvious to anybody that lives in the area. So there's a huge party going on. That's where you're going to come in. You're going to be at the party. Everybody else. Yeah, which Vex is the only. Yeah, he wasn't here for the break-in, so we don't nothing over in. He's not here now, obviously. So, yeah, there's let's see. The Bozos have a tent going on with. They have a similar to Pie in the Face booth set up, except it's darts to the face, and they're taking volunteers to be targets, and people are volunteering. Joy Notel Hotel has a tent set up in a lot along the road, and that seems to be a very popular attraction. And the Western Stars are doing some cowboy action stuff as part of the whole thing, and the Mongrels are doing security of sorts. They're actually trying to keep the party contained to the block, not violently. Militech is periodically, you'll see one of the Militech vehicles. They're kind of staying off the block, but they're making their presence known around the area. And that's pretty much where we're going to start. Before we go to the next step, any other questions or Surat or anything else you want me to go into or mention? Or answer?
Not really.
Okay. And I apologize, guys, if I realize I may already starting to, if I start speaking too quickly or whatever. I just had some extremely high caffeinated and stuff coffee, so I just finished the cup. So I'm well caffeinated for the game. Anyway. All right. So that's where we are. Big party going on. You guys finished your break-in and are back at the party. Of course, it hasn't been but a few hours. You haven't heard anything back from the doc on the one person you left with the doc. Anything in particular else that you guys want to, other being present and being seen? Anything particular you guys want to do as part of the party?
Well, just want to wait to see, what the results of the concert are going to be on the crowd. But after that, I'll probably head home and get some sleep. Because tomorrow I'm going to have a long day going through piles of paperwork.
Yeah, well, I'm going to hang out with both of my brothers, so the Netrunner and the Rocker, and we're just going to party because we survived full Borgs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much party. All right.
Yep.
Anything in particular as part of the party or events that you want to do? Vasily.
I reckon I should be quite active, just trying to get sort of more information as to what public opinion is on the jobs that Roberts and Roberts are doing. Roberts.
Yeah, Robert Roberts.
That's horrible to say, but yeah, I'll probably just be mostly trying to socialize and kind of figure out what people are thinking of it, and if I can get any sort of dirt on how I can interfere with those plans.
Well, the information that's not hard to get at all is that a good percentage of the people that are here. Well, let me see how to say that. No, because I think we figured at the peak there was 9,000 or 10,000 people on the block, is what we rolled. So anyway, all the locals that you talk to really hate the idea, and they are completely with the reporting. Some of them will direct you to some of Stringer's news reports and stuff on the stuff that it's not good, and they're faking news, and they're making up stuff. And the block was completely peaceful before they started blowing stuff up and things like that. And you get people that are from the city proper, and they're kind of the other way. That they came down here to the party hoping for more excitement because there's been all this gang activity and all this other stuff going on that they expected to see more violence and stuff like that. It's since this is part of what you're doing, you will at some point if you're keeping track of who's going in and out of Tokutomi, you'll see some other people, see the other players and some other people. Let me see. Do you have human perception? I don't have your sheet up.
No, I don't.
Okay, I kind of thought not, but if you go ahead and do an awareness notice check, let's start with that.
Oh, good. Damn intelligence skills.
All right, I forgot about that. Right. Intelligence skills not your, and actually considering, okay, so you got 15. Okay.
That roll's kind of reasonable.
That rolls what? Sorry?
That roll's reasonable.
Yeah, no, that's not terrible. Actually, considering your physical proportions, I'm going to ask all the other...
You call me fat?
Everybody. Yeah, sure. No, fat is not what I was thinking of. Would everybody else also go ahead and roll an awareness for me? As you guys
roll a 10, you spot me from miles away.
Yeah, no shit. All right. Now there's well, I'll describe it in a minute depending on what people roll. Holy shit. Did you? Nope, that's not even. You didn't even roll a 10 to get that, Marcellus. That's not right.
No.
Mine isn't.
All right.
Mine isn't a fumble. It's a 10 followed by a 1, and it's counted the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering
Yeah.
how I got 26 on the fumble.
Yeah.
The same thing. I was like, I'm supposed to be the one that spots everything.
It's like, when did Stringer become a solo?
Okay, so
Having seen that happen, it's going to be worth checking anytime we get a suspicious fumble.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
always check.
yeah, I need to look at that, watch that. So Vasily will in keeping you just you're doing your investigating basically, although you're not much of a private not private, but a you don't have human perception, you don't have interview or that kind of stuff. Anyway, so you're talking to people, you're getting some feel, and there seems to be very polarized feeling between people that live in this part in this south of the highway and the people that live north of the highway. People that live north of the highway, a lot of them seem to believe the corporate line that it's going to be good for this area to finally have some peace come to it and have all this new construction. That's going to be a good thing. The people who live in the area absolutely hate it. No, we like it the way we were doing just fine. Your awareness of 15. You spot a relatively a becoming more and more famous media stringer, the one that's been referred to a few times. And he's gone in and out of Tokutomi a couple of times. Let's see. At a 15, I'm trying to remember. There's more than one attractive female at here, and attractive all kinds of people. So, yeah, 15. I'm going to say you will have spotted Stringer. Stringer's probably the only really famous person. So there's that. Okay. Let's see. Impulse 20 is enough. But obviously the 10 Stringer, you're good, and 30. So yes, all the rest of you notice there is somebody that you hadn't noticed before going into the building, but there is somebody that's been going in and out this evening since you guys have been back. That is abnormally huge, like very, very muscular. Like has to turn sideways to go through normal doorways. About, maybe not literally, but just about. Bigger than Schwarzenegger at his prime.
Well, so am I.
Well, yes, but bigger than that. Okay. Like, I don't know what the numbers are. I'm not going to do the math. But like 15-20% more muscular, bigger, more bulky than Marcellus.
Can floor an elephant with a punch.
Like, Marcellus, as good as you are at combat and as little problems you've had, going through squishies and all that, you would really think twice about starting a fight with this guy. Just by looking at him. You, with your 30, would also not hard to figure out that he is a solo. Just by the way he moves. He's always looking around. He's doing the solo stuff. Stringer, with your natural 10, you would also be obvious to you that he is a solo. But also, with both of you guys, between a 30 and a natural 10, it is quite obvious that he's had significant modifications. He does not have cyber arms. It looks like real skin, although it's obvious, not obvious. Yeah, you guys beat the 20. It's obvious he has a heavier than normal skin weave. Obvious to you guys anyway, because you're all rolled over 20. That he has heavier than normal skin weave, but there's something going on that you don't get that big without something more. Like somebody who saw Schwarzenegger at his prime, most people would probably have said, well, he must be doing something, some kind of performance enhancers to have gotten that big. There's no way he could possibly get that big without it. Well, now looking at this new person, you're going to say, there's no way he could possibly get that big without significant medical assistance. Cybernetics or something. But he doesn't look like a Borg, and even a Gemini, none of that stuff. Just huge. Okay. So that's what you guys see. It is up
And
to
he's
you.
not.
Go ahead. Sorry.
He's not in. He's not in the full weird hive mind attitude or anything
No,
like that.
no. He looks like a solo, a reasonably. I mean, what's your combat sense now, Marcellus?
8.
8. Okay. So he's not if at a 30 awareness notice. I'm going to say he's not to maybe not to your level, but he's not a newbie either. As far as being a solo, and he's definitely not the hive mind. One of those people. Those people stand out.
Oh yeah, just checking
know.
because we
Yeah.
know that we've issues with hive-mindy people, and there's some random new big dude that, if he is a hive-minder, could be a real problem for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't want. Yeah. You wouldn't want to face him in a dark alley. You wouldn't want to face him in a well-lit alley. But anyway, there you go. That's what you guys. Any. I don't know. Does any, and I'm not pushing anybody into it. Does anybody want to try and confront or anything like that? Now keep in mind the Tokutomi does have that man trap entryway and stuff part of the lobby, but it doesn't have security per se as far as a security guard on duty or any of that stuff. So theoretically, anybody could be walking in and out.
Sure.
It's okay either way. Well, go ahead. Pardon me.
I've seen him. I'm going to keep an eye on him while still partying it up with my brothers, but
Okay.
I'm not going to confront him tonight. We want to be kind of just part of the party now, so that because after all, with everything
Yeah.
that we would do, I don't want to be standing out in quite the same way.
Well, there is and I'll mention too at some point, and Vasily, you'll pick up on it when you hear it. The band that's playing, there's actually a full concert style stage in one area just across diagonally across from the building from Tokutomi. There is a couple of songs, and one of them in particular very more obvious and poignant, of the stand with Charter Hill South and support the residents. And those aren't the words. I'm not a songwriter, but that's the message that the singer is trying to get across. Using his abilities, using his persuasion.
I said, good on you, bro.
Yep. Stand with the people of Charter Hill South. Don't let these developers come in and destroy your homes and stuff like that. Okay, so you're not going to. Anybody else want to try and confront this guy? If not, we'll move on. We're going to move on to the next day.
No, but I'm also keeping an eye over my shoulder.
Right.
It's suspicious. Okay. Because I would think, if there was someone like that around here, I would have noticed him by now. And this is the first time, so I'm like, who is this person? So yeah, just watching over my shoulder.
Vasily, are you going to be drinking or partaking of the other various things that are being passed around?
My character is a clean living gentleman.
Aha, okay. So that would stand out to the rest of you. He is not drinking, not reaching for any of the various platters of assorted pills and the like being, that are circulating in baggies and stuff. And since you guys are paying attention to that part and to him now, you'll notice he is seems to be talking to a lot of people. And some of them just blow him off, and sometimes somebody will talk to him for a few minutes or a minute, and then he'll move on. And he's just, it's like he's just like what he's doing. He's talking to people. He's asking them questions and stuff. Yeah. But if you guys aren't going to do anything else specific for the party, we'll move on. We'll move forward. Go ahead, Austin.
He must be a corporate. Maybe he's Robert Roberts and he's here to spy on us.
You know, you guys haven't go through your documentation. You guys, I don't know if anything's happened for you guys to actually know what the guy looks like. That you'd know if he was here or not.
No, I'm just like, because this is the thing. If Mirage sees that he's like, he's this big guy who, she hasn't seen around here before, and he's at this party talking to a lot of people, not partaking in drinks, she's just like, I don't like that. He could be some sort of corporate. So yeah, Mirage very much just partakes of the party and make sure that she is seen doing nothing wrong, and certainly not raiding corporate buildings.
Well, okay, so as far as and actually I will do this, anybody who is fully partaking of the party probably at some point should roll a resist torture and drugs if you have that.
Cool.
I wouldn't. Probably not fully, because yeah.
Well, I will drink some, but not too much.
There we go.
Okay, so
Marcel's dies of alcohol poisoning.
Oh shit! You rolled a 1. Okay. You are really enjoying this party.
Absolutely. I've told you. I'm with my bros. I haven't seen them for a while. The guy's doing a good job and standing up for us with his music and all of that. Of course, I'm out to do this.
I'd say so. We'll go down the line as the other roles come in here. So Marcellus, yeah, you're enjoying the party. You're enjoying the music. You're going. It's there's trays, there's stuff going around, there's people selling all kinds of stuff being bought and sold, all kinds of things like that. At some point, you're just kind of randomly grabbing it. There's like you grabbed something off a tray here and something off a tray there, and yes, you're not back at the party a couple of hours, and you're stoned. You're out. You're getting out of your mind. You don't know what the hell's going on. Really, you saw that big guy, but real quick, you're like, oh, that couldn't have been. I'm just having fun. There's no way he could be that big. I'm seeing, you're having fun. In any case, you're having fun. You're tripping.
Yep.
Yep, dancing. And
it's going to be like one of those parties where there's a tray of assorted pills on the sideboard, and when you can't identify them, you're a lot younger than I am now. You take one of each and down the lot.
Just take it, and try one of these ones. Let's see how this goes. Right, exactly. So Stringer, your role is sufficient? Do you can get as drunk or whatever as you want, but you're not succumbing necessarily beyond what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to have some drinks, but I want to be able to remain focused and aware in case.
Mirage, did you get a roll in?
No,
RT&D.
hold on.
Okay.
Do that now, I guess.
RT&D. Okay.
11.
Okay, so were you planning to do any particular whatever drugs or whatever, or just drink?
Nope.
Or you were going to maybe have a cup and sip at it, that kind of thing was your plan.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. So you weren't being out of place, but weren't necessarily intending to get drunk. Okay. Well, as dawn is breaking, you start to realize. What's that?
I said, as dawn is breaking, Marsalis is broken.
Oh, Marcellus is still over there, just partying, dancing with every. I mean, the stage, the rockers are still going. Your brother took a break for a bit, and you guys started getting into a drinking. It was a shots and pills drink a game, kind of like beer pong or something, except that you have to do a shot with a random pill dropped in it, and you guys are just going at it. Um, Mirage, however, you kind of as dawn is coming over the horizon, you realize you're not sure what's happened the last couple hours, and you look down at your cup, and it's not the cup you remember picking up, and it's full of something that apparently you've been drinking. Basically, you got drugged at some point. Something that you drank, something was in that first cup that you had, must have been laced. It wasn't just beer, or whatever whatever it was that you thought you were getting. So
Okay.
you've lost at least 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm probably like, I'm gonna just drop the cup, and I'm just like, that's enough for one night, and I'm gonna go. I'm leaving.
Yeah, 11 is just too low a roll to not. And you don't. And if I'm reading this right, do you have the skill RTD?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I figured with that way that. Yeah. Okay. So yes, there you go. Okay, so you're gonna get as dawn breaks and you realize you're not sure what happened in the last couple hours. You're gonna go sleep it off or whatever. Yeah, at whatever point Surat I assume you would be heading back. As the sun's coming up, the party is significantly less people. You and your brother, just you and the group of people you were drinking with, they start to leave one at a time. It's down to just the two of you, and at some point, you guys would probably decide, okay, maybe it's time to get inside and not pass out here on the street. There are, as you would be heading back to the condo, there are people sleeping on the street. There's lots of people passed out on the street. There's all kinds of stuff going on. All kinds of people laying around. It was a good party, in other words. And Sewer Rat, you can decide to at whatever. Let's see. You said you weren't drinking anything. You weren't doing anything.
Don't drink on the job.
Okay. However, you are in the area, and there was smoke and stuff. So, would you go ahead and do an art resource torture and drugs? Though you're going to have a much lower
Okay.
target because you weren't
should
drinking
I
anything.
should I add the
Yes.
the +3 from that?
Yes.
Is that a modifier or is that a permanent thing in there?
That will be. Let me pull up how I wrote it again real quick.
Because it was in the cybernetics.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's. Oh, it's where is it? Oh, that's part of that. So yes, that's permanent. You can add that as on the skill line with RTD. You can just literally put in a +3.
Okay.
Because as long as you don't get the one where it breaks, it's permanent.
Oof.
Oh, and you got a 1. Okay. Okay. Getting those ones out early, huh? Everybody.
Yeah.
Bunch of
that's the plan.
lightweights.
That's the plan. Exactly. Okay, so
Let's hope my character doesn't freak out. You don't want a guy that size and strength freaking out.
so you are okay. So you're normally very clean cut, or as far as that goes, you don't drink, you don't do any drugs or any of that stuff.
Not on the job.
Not on the job, anyway. Okay.
Need to stay focused.
Right. Okay. Let's do a cool check.
A straight cool check.
Just a straight cool check. Let's just do that. Okay. Well, you didn't have any problem with that part of it. Okay, so
He is very cool.
As dawn is breaking, you're realizing you'd actually intended to not stay out here quite this late and be able to get some decent rest before the next day. It'd be a short night, but still get some rest. But you kind of realize you've been out here a lot longer than you really thought you were going to be. And you know you didn't drink anything, but there was lots of stuff being smoked and so on. So you probably got a contact of high. You didn't get into any fights as far as you can remember. You didn't beat anybody down. You didn't do any of those. But as you're thinking about it, you're realizing some of your questions got kind of strange. Maybe off topic. You know, you weren't just asking about Robert Roberts and this stuff. You started asking very personal questions of random people and other stuff.
Do you
and
have
about their
cats?
cyberware. And do you have any pets? And have you ever lain with a whatever? And so anyway, yes. Anyway, nothing overly bad, exciting maybe happened as far as you remember, but something definitely got to you. You're realizing.
All right.
So that's what happened at the party. So unless you guys are doing something else, you're going to end up. I don't know, Marcellus. It's up to you with the way you rolled and stuff. You and your brother may have passed out near the stage, or you may have made it back to into your condo. I'll leave it up to you. At some point, you realize you probably should get back to the condo before you pass out, but you may not have made it.
Let's see. Odds for pass out on the stage. Evens made it back to the condo. Pass out on the stage.
No, and it's not just near the stage where the drinking game was taking place. You passed out on the stage.
Yeah.
With bongos. You were sitting there cross-legged somewhere playing bongos, trying to, which wasn't working very well, but the other rockers weren't really, they take a look at you and go, probably don't want to mess with him. We'll just let him play. And you passed out, just slumped over the top of the bongos.
Yep, sounds good to me.
And for a while. Okay. In fact, you may be still passed out when everybody else has gotten some rest and is coming back out of the building. Or when they try to take down the stage. So, yeah, you guys get some rest.
I make a point of locking my door and probably putting something against it.
Okay. To keep yourself in or keep others out?
Probably a mix of both.
Maybe some of each? Okay.
So the drugs have got to you and you think Martians are after you.
And I'll mention the party was such and sufficient if any... one more thing on the party, then we will move on. If anyone wants to roll a seduction, if they're interested in trying to bring somebody or whatever back with them, that was definitely opportunities were there.
My ugly mug has no chance to that.
I probably would have if I didn't get drugged, so I'm doing the opposite.
Okay. All right.
Can I just stand around shirtless and flex and see if that attracts anyone?
So you'd be much better if it was one of those, costume or one of those things you walk around with a mask over your face. That might have helped. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm very capable of doing it, but yeah, I got drugged. I no.
Which I should have mentioned when you guys noticed the big guy, because it's not, at your, what are you? You're like a 4 or something attractiveness, right?
3.
You're at that's right. Because you had okay. You're at a 3. So something I forgot to mention that it's not just that your face is unattractive.
Oh, he ugly.
And you can be muscular in an attractive way, and you can be very muscular and overdone in a not so attractive way, and you're definitely more the latter. The people that get extremely bulky and built up and huge muscles and so on, and just don't don't do it in such a way that somebody might find attractive.
So
You have
he's
found
like
a
the
way to make it-
opposite.
You
He's
have
like the
found a way to
opposite
make
of me.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. That's a
In fact, I'm gonna
perfect
roll it to
example.
see what I'm gonna roll it to see what happens.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. 12.
can't
Oh,
even
that's
see it.
dead.
Oh,
I wake up next to a bearded lady.
So, Stringer, you were able to hold your cool, and yeah, you definitely it doesn't take much in this group, this party. If you want to have had someone of whatever type of or status, as far as their sexuality, you got your choice. You can bring somebody home. Believe it or not, Surat, yes, you have rolled sufficiently. And you again, you are big enough. You have your thing. If you want to bring someone home, you can.
someone is into that.
Someone is just into it. Now, whether or not
There's a
they'll be
niche for
into it,
everything.
now after they've had a few hours of sleep and they wake up, they may or may not be as into it. But
Hey, it could always be a bozo on the dare.
there you go. All right, I like it.
That's a very dangerous dare. I think we could probably die during the act.
Let's see.
Just horribly crushed.
Okay. All right. So that's you guys have your fun, and let's see, with whomever or whatever, because it's gonna be that kind of a party, and there are enough people here just on the averages. There's gonna be some exotics. There's gonna be some very cybered individuals. There's gonna be some completely all no cyberware type people. All kinds of people are gonna have been at this party. So, you know. And it's just a very low bar. There was so much drugs and so much alcohol and so much stuff going around this party. The bar for being able to take somebody back isn't very high, if you didn't have any standards anyway. Which neither of you stated anything, so. Okay. So, to recap real quick, we're past dawn. Marcellus is still passed out on the stage. We're gonna say we're pushing like 10 a.m. And there are a few stragglers, the hangers on, the ones that haven't passed out on the street somewhere, or maybe they did pass out for a few hours and are back awake again. But there's still a few people, a couple hundred people on the block, theoretically partying, but it's been a long night. There is a band, a much lower, less talented band than your brothers. But there is still a band playing on the stage. Marcellus is still passed out with the bongos. Mirage has locked herself in her room. Stringer, somewhere in here, you're going to start to wake up next to someone, which we're going to talk about in a moment. And Sewer Rat, somewhere in here, you're going to start to wake up groggily and realize that there's somebody next to you as well. Am I missing anybody? No, that's pretty much it. Okay. So there you go. So, let's see. Stringer, you will wake up to whichever of whatever sex you want, however you want to do that. But you'll wake up next to somebody. They are attractive as 8. And they are just starting to wake up, and it's up to you if you want to let them stay or kick them out, or however you want to handle that. Yeah, or we can just get past it if you want. You're gonna do that?
I'll make breakfast and brew some real coffee.
Okay. Let's see. Sewer Rat, you wake up someone. Actually, they are attracted to 6, which, so just slightly right around or slightly above average. So actually, not terrible. They do have some weird, very odd makeup, face paint going on, but other than that, nothing too weird.
Give me a moment.
So while we're waiting, Mirage, you will start to wake up. You're alone. Got a bit of a headache. Let's see. How did you roll? I don't remember how you rolled on your.
My resist was 11.
Oh, 11.
I rolled a
That's right.
6.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Very good. You rolled a 6. Okay, so you've got a bit of a headache, bit of a hangover thing, like not alcohol completely, migraine type, but you're definitely feeling like something happened last night. You remember some foggy bits and pieces of dancing with random people, that kind of stuff. And you check the chair that you wedged under the door handle seems to still be there. Stuff like that. So you're able to start getting up. Waiting for Sewer Rat to come back. Stringer, yep, you make your house guest breakfast and coffee, and they enjoy it. And unless you want to roleplay or do more of that out, which I don't need to, they will leave you their number. But after breakfast, they're going to head out. And that will be just because everything like that is a contact. Give me a moment. So are you going to... Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to give you a name. Give me a moment.
Hey, sorry about that. That was the food I was talking about.
Oh, no problem. Stringer, female or male? Or whatever, or do you care?
Female.
Okay.
Or both.
Or both.
Horse.
Hey, this is Cyberpunk. There is cyberware.
Yeah.
Not to mention, body sculpting and everything else. Christina Burke, which you get, other than her attractiveness, and that she was willing to come back with you, you get almost you have almost zero other details other than appearance. You know nothing about her. You got her phone number. Don't know what she does. Any of that. There's that. I don't know if you heard Surat, so attractive is 6, which is just that hair above average, on the above average side of average. Attractiveness is who you wake up next to. Let's give them a reaction when they start to wake up. Yeah, unless, depending on what you do, or unless you do something to keep them around, they're going to kind of get their stuff together and head out. They're not sticking around, So they don't leave, and they don't leave you. Actually, do you ask for their number? Do you want to play that up? Do you want to do anything, or just let them go?
They can do what they want.
Okay. They will start to wake up groggily, see you, look you over, and immediately get their stuff and head out. They're not sticking
Immediate
around.
reaction of fear.
They're like, yeah, that. You get the impression they either don't remember coming up here, or they at very least don't remember coming up here with you. So that's that. Okay. So you guys are up. Let's see. Robert, you guys will wake, actually Stringer, because you have news alerts. There is a news alert, Robert. I think I've started to mention this last time. Robert Roberts does have a press release going out that nothing of major value was taken, but that there was a break-in, a lot of vandalism at their offices, and that kind of thing. There's that.
Yeah. Any guy from the floor above?
What's that?
Any reference to the guy from the floor above where we went in?
Oh, the other person. Let me think. I'm trying to remember. Were you guys able to see the face of the guy that they were taking?
No,
out?
he had
Or
a
did I
mask
say
on, but
he had a bag or something, or mask or whatever. That's what I was trying to remember. Go ahead.
I think they had a
it's just
bag
that-
over his head.
Right.
Yeah, it's just that investigating where we broke in, going down through that room, it would be very difficult for anyone, including the more renter cops, to not notice the hole in the ceiling at the same time.
Right. Right. Well, the Robert Roberts story, as far as the crime section, seems to be, although they say there's nothing, it wasn't that big, it was all vandalism. That seems to be kind of hogging the airtime as far as crime in that overnight last night. There's a couple of stories about the party. There doesn't. Let me see.
And how great it was.
How great it was. No, I'm thinking as you investigate, Stringer, you're trying to find something on whether or not there was something else from the building. There is another story about another resident that floor above. Turns out that some of it is rented out as residence and office space in one. So you can have a room or a little economy apartment in the back and have your office space up front, kind of spaces. And
Yep.
that one of those was broken into. There was some damage, and the person who rented it, the tenant of that room, wasn't available for comment.
Of course, he got kidnapped.
They're gone. That person's gone. Let's see, and it's up to you if you want to investigate that further.
Yeah, no, just make a mental note of the fact that it happened.
Okay. Everybody, anybody who doesn't have their entertainment stuff on Do Not Disturb, news will come up about the party that there was, and most of all the major news services seem to be talking about there were so many fights and murders and all kinds of stuff happened at this party. Militech has a statement out that there will be no further gatherings of more than 10 people anywhere in Charter Hill South. That after the fiasco, that they tried to allow the residents to have this gathering, but there were so many deaths, so much violence was attributed to it that they can't let that happen again.
In that case, I'm going to have to edit together my footage of the thing.
I was going to say, who's up for round 2, guys?
Yeah. For any station that's prepared to show it, where basically there really wasn't violence.
There is video that some of these stations are showing. It's just it's relatively short clips here and there of fights here and there of somebody with a gun out, and actually it's somebody in Western attire with a gun out shooting. And the way it's been pieced together, looks like they're shooting into the crowd.
Yeah.
And some other stuff.
Well,
So
we know that's bullshit.
We know it's bullshit, but that's what's being broadcast.
Yeah.
So you can make your rolls for your editing and stuff, and I'll make some rolls here in a moment to see what happens with you trying to put it out there. So that's you. That's Stringer. Impulse, are you Mirage? Are you doing, other than getting up and got this headache? Are you doing anything else first thing?
I'd probably drop the radio thing that we all used. I borrowed one. I'll probably drop that back around to Stringer, and when I do, I'd probably just say I'm going to be out for today, but I should be back this evening.
Yeah.
If you need anything.
While you're out today, can you grab some aerosol spray paint?
Yeah, can do. But yeah, I've got some stuff that I want to do with the day.
Stuff you want to do? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it stuff to play out, or you just want to tell me what you want to do?
No, the main thing is I am sick and tired of not being perfect, and I would like to go and become perfect.
You want to go see if you want do a day ticket or a half or a full day at Body Cure?
No, I wanna do the permanent solution.
Ah. Okay. What are you thinking?
It's not much because I'm already pretty good. But yeah, it's the in mechanical terms, it's the basically I'm going to get a facelift. Basically, get rid of any imperfections, any wrinkles.
Do a sculpt.
Yeah, and go from attractiveness 8 to attractiveness 10.
Okay, you got the money
to
to do
12.
that. Well,
Sorry.
You can go to 12.
That's more expensive because that's the Eurosource Plus stuff.
I'm just thinking of the play being from Chromebook. Is it 1 or 2?
2, I think.
Yeah.
There's also, you can increase your attractiveness through biotech. It's in Eurosource Plus, but that is stupid expensive.
Tailored pheromones and other stuff add to those roles as well.
What are you complaining about? I can decrease your attractiveness in a second.
That's cheap. That part's cheap.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But yeah, that's like the main thing I want to do with that day. And yeah, while I'm out, I'll get some spray paint in various colors.
Yeah. So your plan now is to become perhaps the most noticeable and most memorable sneak thief in Night City.
Look, if I'm sneaking around, I'm going to have my face covered.
Okay. How much?
More than just face. Think about Catwoman.
Yes. Well, there's that. Well, yeah, it depends. I guess it depends on what other clothing you're planning to wear while you're working.
Running around all masked, take a mask off, suddenly it's handsome Squidward.
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna.
What's the book cost on what you want to do?
1,200.
Okay. So we're gonna do. Let me see. I think I'm gonna do 50 that you can get it just done at that price. You just okay. Yeah, book price. There you go.
Cool.
All in your 100% in your favor. So, you can go to a mall shop. You're just doing regular body sculpting. You don't have any particular scars or anything.
Nope.
You just want to clean everything up and do that.
Yep.
Okay, so they spend a couple of hours. And this is a no humanity cost one, isn't it? The way you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no humanity cost.
They will spend a couple of hours going over the procedure, talking about it, what they're going to do, going over this and that and stuff, preparing you for it. They will spend what's the surgery? Is there a surgery code associated with it?
No, it's just 600 per attractiveness.
Okay. So
it's not cyberware, and it's literally just
So they spend an hour or two going over everything, preparing you, talking about what they're going to do, agreeing with it, whatever. They actually put you in a brain dance machine for about 30 minutes, to prepare you for the surgery and how your looks are going to change and all that. This is how there's no humanity cost associated with it, going through all this stuff. And it's all this is all done in a shop off of a mall, that actually the same mall that you guys were in last night.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just a mall shop. They go through all this stuff. Then you're in surgery for a while, and then you're in a recovery bed for another couple hours. By evening you're all done.
Cool.
So that's the way we're gonna play.
But yeah, I think that's all in the immediate, because that was the immediate. I want to get this. Get this done.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's me for the day.
So you can add it to your. We'll put it just to account for it. You can list it in the cyberware tab, and
Okay.
give yourself the bonus.
Yep.
So you're going to be out for the day. Marcellus, you are still passed out on the stage, so give us another minute or two on you. Let's see, Sewer Rat. So we're getting around that 10 or 11. Your company for 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, or whatever it was, has hastily retreated. And do you have anything you want to do at this point?
Really, right now, I don't really have enough information on how I can actually interfere at all with the Robert Roberts plan. So
go ahead.
Probably trying to find some sort of contact that I can make that will be able to give me more information.
Okay. So, let me see. You've got a couple of things you can do. Do you have library search? And if not, I've got another plan for you.
No, I don't.
You don't. Okay. So you're doing you could try to do some research on your own. You're just not coming up with anything useful. However, you do have let me see. Let me look at your sheet real quick and see if I put it on there. I didn't. Actually, I had intended to, but I'm just realizing that I don't think I did. One moment. Sorry, I am adding it to your sheet now. I apparently didn't get this done. This is one of the ways I was going to use to bring you in. But then when I came up with the story with Butcher, who's now not playing. Anyway,
Got to remember, guys, style over substance. I want to be pretty.
Absolutely. Hey, makes sense to me. No, I think it's perfect. It works.
I'm not gonna I'm good enough that I'm not gonna get caught. But if people do see me, I want to be something worth looking at.
Well, and being with your chosen professions, if you do the appropriate, you need disguise or something as a skill too. If you don't have it.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you do. So you could disguise up, work, take the disguise off, and help with your alibi.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still worth looking at, but only out of morbid curiosity.
Kind of for the other reasons. Okay, so you now have another. Real quick, Sewer Rat, you have another contact, in your other note section, which was for technical services, but there's somebody that lives in the area, so that might be able to help you. Might be somebody to talk to.
Right.
Might help you get info there. Okay. Sorry, Mirage. Go ahead if you had something else.
No. It's not important.
No, it's good. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say I've got my character's got something that she wants to develop into, and it's not. There are different ways to sneak into places.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ways where you're seen and ways where you're not seen. She's really good at the latter.
Or even
working on the former.
Seen, but not in the same way. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So you've got that. We're gonna go real quick. Marcellus, you will very groggily start to wake up. You have a crazy ridiculous headache, the kind that's blurring and affecting your vision. Muscle aches, the whole thing. You're waking up because the stage is being torn apart around you, and the people working on it are trying to not disturb you. Because you are a big impressive guy, and just even not moving, you're a big guy. You're carrying some very big weaponry.
No, I'm
actually...
not. That's all been put. I did go and put that away.
Oh, you did put... Okay, you hadn't said. Okay.
Yeah, but he's still got the guns. Flex his arm.
That's right. There you go.
Got some big weaponry there, bud.
I do have the gun show. That is true.
Let's see. You are missing a few hundred. I think that's what I said. I rolled a couple of hundred. Or is this your? No, that one's not yours. Okay. Anyway, you're missing about 200 euro, but honestly, you can't remember if you might have done something with it, or spent it, or gave it away, or lost it on a bet, or you have no idea.
Yeah, it's fine.
Stuff happens. When you get there, when you get to checking. But they are taking the stage down. They've got almost all the lighting is down. The trellis, or not trellis, the whatever the hell that's called. The supports for the lighting and all that stuff's all down. They're actually starting to tear the floor up and tear the surface of the stage apart, and that's what finally disturbed you enough to start to wake up.
Oh, motherfucker. Oh.
And your brother, your ice pick is not to be seen. Your brother, the rocker, which I can't think of his name right now, he is helping them tear the stage down and working.
Damn it, bro. You're too good at this shit these days. Oh, Christ. And with that, I will stagger off back to my condo to clean up.
Since you said that to him, he'll mention, well, there's a cooler Smash back here if you want to grab one. Might help take the edge off.
Yeah, why not? Oh. I can't keep up. I ain't a rocker like you. Don't know how you do it, bro.
Practice, he says. Lots and lots and lots of practice. So if you grab the can of Smash, it is the special edition anti-hangover flavor.
Excellent. I am brilliant.
And as you down it, the headache will significantly subside, and you feel this burst of energy. You know, like if you haven't had regular, say, Coca-Cola, regular sugared soda in a long time, in a few weeks or a month or two, and then you suddenly drink like a 30 ounce or something of a full sugared soda, you get that that's kind of the way you're feeling. Get that rush.
Yeah.
And you're gonna head back to your condo.
I'm gonna head back to the condo and actually clean up.
Okay, so you're working on that. And let's see, we're gonna come back around here. Stringer, you put together some video. You are passing it around. The one guy that you've been in contact with, is like, well, is of the wish we had this earlier. He says, I'll see what I can do. The network manager has already, or the station manager has kind of already decided what line we're taking on this story. So I'm not sure I can get this one on the air.
Well, if they don't show it, I'll give it out for free to some of the smaller channels like I do with the other stuff.
Okay. So you give it some time. It does not get on the air on the major network. The couple other major networks don't seem to be interested at all. So yeah, you can pass it out to the small ones, and some of them will show it. Absolutely. They'll broadcast it. And
then I'm going to brew up a large pot of coffee and settle down to going through the papers.
Okay. You start doing that stuff. That's you. Mirage is busy for the day, so we're probably going to skip some time in a moment so that you're not just hanging out for the whole session.
I don't mind if other people want to do stuff. Like, I can keep myself busy.
Sorry, one moment, guys.
Sure. So yeah, there's this wonderful part in the back of Chromebook 4, which, yeah, was great.
True.
And I love it.
Okay.
And it requires a bit of calculation. That's why I say I can probably keep myself busy if you guys want to do stuff.
Right. We may just have to deal, you know, I'm not sure how else to deal with that.
Well, then we may just have to go and take a
I don't really know how my character is meant to influence the redevelopment plans. It's not really in his expertise.
Break stuff. That'll influence it, right?
Just tear down one of the buildings with your bare hands.
Okay,
That's
sorry, guys.
helping them.
Okay, so, well, sorry about back here. I just got the word on when we have to go pick up my daughter's stuff at her dorm room, and so I've got 45 minutes to an hour, and I'll have to go. But as far as how to interfere, well, the information, the orders you had, the request from the company was basically to find some way. So, for example, if you could get hooked up with anybody in the area who is also fighting against Robert Roberts. That was my idea anyway. And I was trying to find a way for you guys to get together because the plan that I spent, worked out last night for me, kind of got shot to hell when the other person couldn't play. So give me. Let me see. I'll do yours. If you, just on the real quick, just to kind of move it along, if you contact Coil and just ask her about the area and stuff, she will be very forthcoming and tell you about some other people that have been actively fighting against this thing. And they live at Tokutomi and will give you names and contact information. And it will be the other players. We're just going to move that along.
Oh, really quickly, I forgot. I'm also
Yes.
buying myself a mini cell phone.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, because I'm guessing the normal phone, the €400 is like a brick, right?
It's going to be a brick. The mini is going to be can be more like what we've got now as far as size and stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm getting a mini.
Okay. So we're at, yeah. If you do contact Coil, basically you will find out that the company has been in contact with Coil and paid her up front for technical assistance. So, and since she already knows the other players, she knows the other PCs, and thinks you should get in contact with them if you want to fight Robert Roberts, because that's what they're already doing, and they could probably use some help from what she's saying.
Right, so that's what I'll do then. I'll contact Coil and get that information.
That was my idea in giving you that contact, but we'll just try to move it along some, Okay. And you do have, so for the rest of that, you do have her as a contact then, obviously apparently for information, but she's also a very accomplished techie. So if you need any work done on something, that's probably that would be a good person to call. The company already has prepaid for for services if you need something. For some services. So we go back around. Marcellus, you are back at your condo. You're going to get cleaned up. Do you have anything you want to do today?
Yeah, two things. first, obviously, get in contact with Ice Pick, because obviously he's got all the stuff that he downloaded from their
Right.
servers. Needs to be gone through. And secondly, I want to find out what these red banded war crime magazines are, because I'm sure they're war crime magazines.
What was that from? I'm sorry.
For the combat shotgun that's got the red banded drum.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry. When you said magazines, honestly, the first thing that came to mind was like a magazine,
No,
paper.
no.
Read, and I was completely lost what the hell you were talking about. Okay.
I'm pretty convinced these are war crimes, portable war crimes.
Portable war crimes. Okay, so you're going to have the opportunity to examine those. And what is your weaponsmith?
My weaponsmith is now 4.
It is now a 4. That's right. I was thinking you'd increase. That was what you did. Okay. So yeah, so you want to roll your weaponsmith, and you can examine them and do some online looking if you need to and stuff to figure it out.
Yep. Well, I decided I probably, with the amount of weapons that I'm actually gathering, I actually needed to increase my weaponsmithing.
So you know what they actually do.
Yeah, kind of. That's not a great roll, but it's okay.
That is not a great roll. But it's average. It was an average die roll.
Yeah,
Okay.
tech is not my thing.
No, that's okay. So, but it is a sufficient roll. The red band on the mag, it doesn't tell you much other than, it's just a designation of to set it apart from the rest of the magazines that you might be carrying. There isn't a particular definition of having the red stripe on the magazine.
No, it's the actual
however,
itself.
Right. However, you are able to figure out through lots of looking up pictures and stuff, and you actually end up pulling apart one of the bullets, one of the rounds, which as you pull it apart, you get some, you pull it apart on your workbench, you pull it apart and you start to spread it, and it starts smoking and ignites for a few seconds. Luckily, you kind of spread this, as you pulled it apart, you spread out the contents pretty quickly. It burns through your workbench and into the floor some before it kind of starts to subside and go out. These are AP incendiary, but not just incendiary. These actually use magnesium in them, so they will burn no matter what. Which is why as soon as you expose them to air, with the chemical, the way they're made up, as soon as they were exposed, as soon as the that part of the bullet was exposed to air, it ignited. And you're kind of lucky that you spread it out enough as you did it, that it only put a hole in your table and burned the floor, that it didn't actually combust more dramatically.
That's how Robert Roberts got the property rights for Tokutomi Square, because Marcellus burned it down.
Yep.
That's right.
And that's why Robert Roberts are wandering around with portable war crime weaponry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so these are pretty nasty. And actually, if you'll would you go ahead and do an awareness notice for me also?
Me?
Yes, you. Marcellus, yes, sorry. Because your weaponsmith in and of itself wasn't quite high enough to catch this other thing. But I'm going to give you another opportunity. Well, yeah, I should have known. As long as you don't fail it, you're going to roll high enough on the awareness. So another weaponsmith roll, and with that awareness, you're going to get plus 3 to your weaponsmith for the awareness. Okay. Now that one was high. Now your awareness determined as you were looking. You pulled it 3 or 4 rounds out of one of the magazines to start examining them. You kind of picked up the first one, and that's what I described. But as you're messing with it and you're doing the research to figure it out, you realize every third round in all the Red Stripe magazines, every third round is different, and your weaponsmith roll is sufficient. Every third round is actually an HE.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, 2 rounds of API, and then an HE round. 2 rounds of API, and HE round. That's the way all those Red Stripe magazines are set up.
Eesh. Okay. Guess I better make a note of that for those Red Stripe magazines.
Mm-hmm. Those are nasty.
That's very nasty.
So it will take you some time to do the research and figure this out and work on it. Do you have, other than recovering, is after 2-3 hours that smash is wearing off and you're starting to feel terrible again?
No, literally, it's just doing this,
okay.
and then I'm getting my brother. I get an ice pick to start pulling down.
Oh, right.
stuff.
You're going to contact. That's right. You're going to contact Icepick. Icepick, you'll get the mechanical voice when you contact him. You'll get that. That he is obviously he's in the net. He will say he's going through the data. Some of it's encrypted. He will get back with you as soon as he is able to actually has full access to the data and can give you do a presentation or something of what he found. So
Yeah, perfect.
he said he's working on it. It's going to take some time. And he does. Don't forget, he now has his own condo in the building, and that's where he is. He will let you know.
Yeah, and then I'm going to, once I've identified this stuff, I know that I really need to crash.
Okay. So you're going to end up sleeping probably another 4, 5, 6 hours at least, or more. You'll get up, have something to eat, and probably go back to bed.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Look, he partied hard, but that's also a good cover. Who on earth would go out and do something
Right.
as insane as we did, and then come back and party like that and pass out in the street?
Exactly. So that's going to be the rest of your day and into the evening, and we'll see from there. Sewer Rat, you got your contact information from Coil. You got the information we talked about a minute ago. Now that you have this stuff, you can do a little bit of, it doesn't take much research since you have access to a little bit of access to company records and what she gave you. Let me think. Before I say it, let me make sure. What was your awareness from the night before? Was that the 15?
I believe it was a 15, yeah.
Yeah, 15. Okay, 15 sufficient. Yeah, you saw all of these people these guys were all at the party last night. And 15 is sufficient. It's they were at the party, and because you were wandering around at this point, you're still pretty clear-headed. You do have good memory of that stuff. There was probably a couple hours, maybe 3, and then they were at the party again. As you look through the data, and it takes you some time to do that research to find out, to get some pictures of them and stuff. How much do you want to do a lot of research on these people?
Well, given that Coil gave me contact details, didn't she?
Yep. Coil gave you contact information, pictures, and it's just if you want to try and research and find out more about them, or just if that's if what you got from her you feel like is sufficient for now.
I think I should probably just get in contact with men and learn through observation rather than any sort of research.
Okay, very good. So you will have basically you have a contact number for Marcellus, Impulse, Stringer, and Vex. Vex isn't here though.
Well, he wouldn't have a contact number for me because I only just got a phone.
You didn't have a phone. Excuse me, you're right. You didn't have
My-
a phone.
My character does not have a phone, so how is he meant to phone those numbers?
You don't have a phone?
No.
Excellent.
Was I given
question.
an address?
Okay.
I'll just knock on the door.
You were yes. Actually, you were given. Well, you were given condo numbers. Coyle told you that they all live in Tokutomi, and gave you what their condo numbers are, what their door numbers are. So yes, you can go knock on doors, basically.
But I will
So
randomly choose one of those doors.
Randomly.
then.
Okay. So I will say the first one you choose is going to be Vex, who you were told was a nomad, and go pound on his door and he never answers. He doesn't answer. Are you going to do more
Pound
than
the
just
door
knock on the
harder.
Pound the door. Okay. Is it your intention to do damage to the door?
I believe this might answer your question.
Okay. That answers your that answers my question. Okay. So you're pounding. You start out kind of knocking. You tend to knock very heavily, but you start out knocking the door, knocking. Nothing happens. You kind of the full fist pound. Nothing. No answer. And these, by the way, I should mention all of the rooms in the building. They have a little intercom between the hallway side of the door and the interior of the room side of the door, with just a really basic little, voice and video. Although your experience in your condo is that it doesn't work very well. Sometimes they work better than others, but nothing comes up on it. You hit the call button. You're not pounding on the door. You're pounding on the door, and okay, harder. Let's see how dramatic the door fails.
Ooh.
Okay, so at some point you decide you're going to pound harder. Both fists, bam, bam. About the third time you hit the door, both fists, all your strength into it. That door just comes apart. The hinges shatter. Come apart. The top half of the door. It doesn't. It's like the top hinge, and at the middle hinge, the door breaks and just collapses and falls into the room. The bottom half of the door is kind of partially into the room, falling over, but it just snapped at that halfway point because you were just pounding on it, putting all your strength into the top half. So yeah, the door's failed. You're into the. You have access to the room.
I'm going to enter and see if there's anyone home.
Okay, so you can do a quick look around. There's nobody home.
Housekeeping.
It
is a very apparently a nomad's place. It's kind of messy. There's some weaponry stored in a closet. Which I'd have to go to remember exactly what's in there, but
it's fine. I'm not going to ransack the place. To the
okay.
next room.
Yeah. So, yeah. But there's nobody home. There is some food in the cupboards, that kind of stuff. Okay, but you're not actually going to tear it apart or steal anything.
No, I'm heading to the next condo.
Okay.
Let's hope someone's
works.
in that one, or else I'm going to have a very large bill to cover.
Since this is since this is the way it's going, and rather than picking for you, you're doing random, just go ahead and roll a die 10, and we'll use that to determine randomly who you're gonna see next.
You go to this person's room, and they're also not there.
So we're gonna go. I'm gonna count it clockwise on my Zoom window. So 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Mirage's door is the next one you come to.
For fuck's sake.
If I remember correctly, they're also not home.
You remember correctly.
You're correct. As a player, you are correct. They are also not home. As a character, you don't know.
I don't know that.
So yeah, you begin to knock. You hit the call button on their little intercom thing, and it seems to register that you're hitting the button, but nobody answers. You start knocking on the door. You know, you're knocking on the door. Nobody's answering. Nobody's answering. Let's see. Marcellus. After, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say, Marcellus, you're gonna have a higher target number because of your state of recovery. But Marcellus and Stringer, if you guys would both roll an awareness notice for me. So Sewer Rat, you're continuing to knock harder on the door. There's again, kind of like just like the last one. There's no answer again. Nobody's responding to you. They're ignoring you. You know it.
How dare they ignore me?
And it's up to you how hard on the door you're gonna knock again this time.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna knock until someone answers or I make my own entrance. So.
Okay. Well, at whatever point.
Exact same rule as before.
Holy shit. All right. Okay, so Stringer, there's and I'm not sure what floor you're on versus what floor Vex's
I don't think it matters.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't recall which floor each of you are on at this point, but Stringer, your roll is enough. You heard
I think I'm on the fourth.
Okay. You heard some noise out in a hallway. You're not sure if it's from your floor or not, but it was a pounding. It kept getting louder and louder, and then there was a crash bang type noise, and it stopped. And for 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes later, you start to hear this crash, pound, really hard pounding, and then a crash.
I'm going to click through my camera feeds.
But the second time, it's a different part of the building. Okay, you're going to look through your camera feeds. You've got the camera set up in the hallways and that stuff that you have access to.
Yeah.
You just see a glass of water shaking Jurassic Park style.
Yeah, really. As you flip through the camera feeds, let's see. Give me. Yeah, it's okay. No, we'll go ahead. You flip through the feeds. You will find first. You will come across Vex, the door, the condo door. You'll notice where Vex's room is. Now, this is just looking down a hallway, so you don't have a perfect on his door camera, but there is some debris on the ground on the hallway outside his door, and it looks like a part of the door is missing and part of it's kind of pushed in or something. And as you're here, this is just after the second crash, which we're going to come back to in a second. Then as you're flipping through, Mirage's door is actually completely, it is in the hallway. It is in 3 or 4 pieces. It's like some, of course, as if an elephant had decided to just pound their foot against the door until it broke and then throw it into the hallway. I mean, it's mangled, and it's laying in the hallway outside Mirage's condo.
Okay.
That's what you got.
I'm going to take one of my trolley bags.
Right.
Put it in the hallway about 10 feet behind the door. Unzip it and turn it on. I'm going to check my boomer buster, and then I'm going to give Bullet a quick call.
Okay.
Someone's breaking down doors, and the only 2 doors that have been hit are part of our group.
Right. And what
else am I expect it to do?
Trolley bag. What are you referring to there?
The minigun.
The minigun.
I've got
Okay,
2 of them.
Okay, make sure I understood what you were. I kind of thought that's what you were talking about, but okay, got it. So you're setting that up. All right. So that'll takes you a couple minutes to get that set up, and you're making sure your boomer is set. Okay, so you're doing that.
If I've got time, I'm getting my Metal Gear out.
Are you just alerting Bullet to the situation or anything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let him know that there's some huge guy going around smashing in our doors.
You didn't see him. You didn't see who did it. You only saw the results, because by the time you started looking, he's already through the second door.
My movement
Yeah.
allowance is 9. I'm just bolting through the hallways.
Yeah, I'll let him know. He knows Vex. I don't know whether he knows Impulse or not.
Yes. Well, knows of at very least. Yes.
Yeah, but I'll let him know that she's been working with us.
Okay. And so,
So,
to make sure he knows who the second
be
person
prepared.
is. Got it. I'm going to do a sweep of the building, he says. Where is it? Give me a moment. I need to make a roll since you're bringing him into it. It's okay. Which, of course, is okay, but, you know. There it is.
Well, he's been working with us, so it's a case of
Oh, yeah.
if they come
No,
after
it makes
us,
sense.
they might go after him as well.
Okay. That figures. When he answers, he sounds very groggy and distracted and stuff. But he does say that he's going to go ahead and do a sweep. Okay. That works. All right. So that's the response there. You're getting prepared. You have the hallway is being monitored by that box. All right. Marcellus. All right, you did.
That's
You had
the entrance hall in my flat, not the outside public hallway.
Right, right. No,
so I don't want it going off just because the cleaning woman comes around or something.
Okay, so inside your space, but just inside. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, about 10 feet behind the door.
But inside, okay, but not into the public hallway. Okay, I did misunderstand that. I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah.
Okay, Marcellus, 25 is enough. You are trying to rest. You're trying to sleep, and you are the noises I described a moment ago. The first one was you were not awake enough. It was like a dream. But the second one happens, you realize you weren't dreaming the first time or this time. Something is making a hell of a racket somewhere in the building.
Oh.
So, you don't need a roll to decide if you want to get up or if you just want to keep sleeping.
No, I'm dragging myself out. Something's happening inside the building. I can't afford to just ignore it, so I will drag myself out, chuck on some clothes, and slip the two Malorians, and go out just carrying the Colt for the time being. You know, it's inside the building. If I need to, I can transfer to Malorians, but I don't need to be going for bear straight away.
Okay, so you're going to have the Malorians, but you're going to have the Colt in hand. Is that correct? Did I catch that?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I mean, I wasn't sure if I missed part of what you said there. Okay. Would you, just because of the state you're waking up and so on, and actually we'll get everybody too before you guys meet here in a minute, but would you go ahead and do your personal grooming, Wooderman style, so we have an idea if you failed or if, you know,
Sure.
or what? Because
considering that all I'm doing is throwing on
looks
my
are
metal
everything.
gear.
Yeah, you're just throwing it together, but whether or not, you know, I don't know. I'll come up with something depending on your rolls.
You're
Not
just throwing
failed.
it together and missed.
Right. Okay. So yeah, so you're definitely not dressing for the party or anything or go to a club, but you successfully got the metal gear in place, and you're, you know, you don't look like you just came from the all night bender where you passed out for 3 or 4 hours. All right. So there's that. Mirage is still at the body cure and sculpting facility. Mr. Shurat, you are into the second condo. This door, you pounded and pounded, gave it a good kick, and the whole door started to come apart. As it came apart, you were able to get a hold of it and just threw it back out of your way.
But
And-
the goddamn place is empty again.
And you walk through the whole place, and again, there's stuff. Obviously, somebody's living here. Not as well furnished, maybe as the last one, but cleaner, more neat. But no, there's nobody here.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to the next door.
Okay, die 10.
Whoops. I keep on holding shift for that, and it's quite annoying.
1. You are going to Marcellus's door next. So, Marcellus, you are getting ready. You've thrown on the Metal Gear. You've got your weapons. You're reaching for your door handle, and your little intercom thing buzzes. And just a couple seconds after it buzzes, there's a on the door.
I hit the intercom. What?
Okay, let's see if it works. Yours hasn't. I'm sorry. 1 second, Sir. Marcellus, you haven't had any work done on yours. I know Stringer had his repaired. Right.
No, nothing
Mine's
made.
been upgraded.
Right.
But it was working.
Well, if it hasn't been specifically worked on or repaired or upgraded, they're all intermittent. Okay, so yours is coming on the audio works, but there's no video. And last time you used it, the audio and video both worked. So anyway, this time you just got audio.
Yeah, well, anyway, what?
Yeah, sorry.
Coming.
So,
Oh, I'm
you
talking
hear
to
that through
character?
the speaker. Yeah, you hear that through the speaker when you hit the button. So just like you did on the other doors, you kind of hit the intercom button, give it a second or two, and then you start knocking on the door and stuff. You did your first set of knock on the door, and you got that response through the intercom.
Vasily would like the reply back saying, I heard you were part of organization.
Well, I've got no video.
Right.
Place the. Where can I get an idea roughly where this person is standing?
Let me think. Do you have infrared? Something?
No, but I have
Okay.
high awareness.
You do have high awareness. So, yeah, go ahead and do your awareness.
I'm just trying to get an idea of where exactly they're standing in relation, if
Right.
possible.
Yeah, you got a little just from the way they knocked and where they knocked on the door. Now, assuming you get to think this through, assuming that they weren't specifically hiding themselves, trying to conceal their location, because you can't see them at all. But if somebody was knocking the door, right-handed or left-handed, you've got a good idea within a little bit of a little variance, depending on which hand they were knocking with, of where they would be outside your door.
Excellent. I shall transition out with, and just basically, because obviously ambidextrous, place a Malorian with AP at roughly the right point as to where they are, and then crack the door. So basically, Malorian to blow through the door into them if I don't like what I'm seeing.
Okay. So, yeah, there you go. Surat, the door just starts to crack open, just that little bit, and there's somebody inside peeking out. So you guys can get a look at each other. Do you want to just describe yourselves at this point? Marcellus, you're looking out. So Surat, you want to describe yourself first?
Oh, my character is just exactly how you'd imagine him. Absolutely jacked, probably around 6'8". Dark hair, pale skin, obvious Russian heritage.
And your clothing?
I listed that in the inventory. Wearing essentially biker gear, so black jeans, black leather jacket, plain white t-shirt, and leather boots with metal studs in the toes.
So that's what you see. Now, to give you a game mechanics idea, he's a 16 body.
Jesus.
He makes the rest of us look small.
When I was saying before that he is huge, he is huge. And by the way, he is a attractiveness 3, so he is a pretty freaking ugly looking Russian. You know, yeah. From the voice, it wasn't hard to figure out Russian, but yeah, you know, if the Soviet military or something were to do some experience, you first thought you would think if they were going to do some experiments to try and beef somebody up, that they'd give them big oversized cyber arms or something, right? That's kind of what Russian they would do, but he doesn't have cyber arms. But he's as big as some Borgs.
Enhance the flesh, not replace.
So that's what you see. Surat, you are looking through this crack in the door, and Marcellus, he should be able to see that you're wearing Metal Gear, and probably not a hell of a lot else. Maybe see the Colt.
It's not actual Metal Gear, sorry. It's the Gibson Battle
Gear. Gibson Battle Gear. Okay.
Yeah, I always get them confused in my head.
Right. Okay. So the Gibson Battle Gear. Okay. Not true Metal Gear. But so you'll be able to tell that he is wearing that. You may or may not catch the Colt, which you'll probably either way be able to see in a minute. But that's about what you can see looking in. So he cracks the door. He's in response to your comments over the intercom. So it's your turn, or you guys can converse. At this point, you're not in, turn order combat stuff. So you guys talk.
What do you want?
Well, a contact of mine by name Coil told me you were trying to take down the robots redevelopment scheme.
Who?
To whom does that question refer?
You have to remember, I don't know Coil.
Oh. I thought you'd met Coil.
Nope.
Ah, shit. All right.
Oh, this is great.
So let's. Shit. Okay.
You've managed to talk to everyone who can't help you.
You do know of Coil. Stringer will have mentioned her more than once. He's known her a long time. Coil is a tech friend of Stringer's. You do know that.
Yeah, but I don't know her.
You don't actually know
So
her.
I don't know why she's busy spitting out crap. And that's why I'm like, who? Sorry, don't know no Coil. You got the wrong door, bud.
Do I? The usual.
That's great. This is great.
What's Stringer's character name?
Stringer.
Okay.
Stringer is the character name.
Coyle mentioned that she knows one of your associates, Stringer.
Uh-huh. And what's it to you?
Well, I am working to sabotage the robots development scheme, and I cannot do it alone.
Uh-huh. And why you come to me?
Because according to Coyle, that is related to your goals.
Okay, bud. Look, I don't know who you are. I'm not exactly feeling great. I tell you what, why don't you take a little walk to, and I'll name one of the bars in the area, and let me get myself sorted, and I'll come and we'll have a proper chat.
Okay then.
Sound good to you?
Well, I don't have any other option. I'm going to go see a friend, though. Maybe he'll be more helpful. No, Stringer's female, isn't she?
No, Mirage is female.
Right, I'm getting mixed up. So yeah, I said perhaps I'll go talk to your associate. Perhaps you'll be more useful.
Mm-hmm. Or perhaps you do as I suggest.
How very rude. I then walk away from the door.
And then I will send Stringer a message going, yeah, that big dude that was, you see that big dude that was wandering around? He's asking a lot of questions. I ain't necessarily comfortable. He said he's coming your way.
Yep.
You at this
Okay.
point, flipping through cameras, you will have spotted him at Marcellus's door. So you've got to look at him.
He's talking about Robert Roberts and wanting to take him down and all sorts of shit. So
It should be noted I don't have an aggressive demeanor the whole time.
no, but you're just some giant dude that makes me think twice about getting in a fight, and that's impressive. It's very impressive to make me think twice about getting in a fight. Who's just randomly smacking on doors and then going, yeah, I'm here to take down Robert Roberts and I want to join you. And it just,
Not
Oh,
remotely
I get it.
suspicious.
No, not at all. I'm hoping mention the associate and mention Coyle's name would get some sort of credibility.
it's got you not being shot in the head through the door. So it did get you some credibility, which is why I was going, let's go and talk away from here, where I can remove you from the immediate problems of perhaps causing danger to other people. That's what I was basically trying to do.
No, yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. I love it. Players kill each other before they've hardly even met. I like it.
But I am heading to Stringer's door now because I do need information quickly.
You are going to go to Stringer's. Okay. Okay. So you have your conversation. Big dude walks away. Marcellus, you're kind of looking. Holy crap, he's big. And you will have that fleeting thought of having seen him at the block party last night. Of thinking that, no, that must have been part of the drugs, but no, he's real.
Yeah, as I said, messaging Stringer to say, and then I'm going to slip out and try to stealth follow this guy so that, if he's trying to cause trouble for Stringer, I can step in. If he, having said,
Right.
I'm still going to know, I'm effectively going to put myself in a position where I can step in and do something. Having seen him, I am picking up a drum-fed combat shotgun.
Jeez.
All right. Very good. All right. Great. Okay. So you need
You
to
guys.
do your stealth roll, and Vasily can roll his awareness notice as you're heading to Stringer's condo.
If you roll badly for stealth and I roll well for awareness, Vasily will probably think you're up to no good, like about to attack him or something.
Probably.
Okay. Okay. Well, at 18, Marcellus beat your roll, your awareness, so he is being stealthy. You don't know he's following you. Let me see here. You will. One moment here, guys.
Given what we've just done, I am understandably paranoid.
Right. So, as you're
Yeah.
following him, you're checking him out. Your awareness is high enough. He is. Are you carrying both your weapons, Vasily?
Me?
Yeah.
No, just my handgun.
Just the handgun. Okay. He does have a unmodified boomer buster. Oh, as far as you can tell, you will. You're stealthy, and your heart awareness was high enough. You will catch it, not carrying in hand, but he has on his person a boomer buster. It doesn't, like I said, doesn't appear to be modified. Which in his hand probably looks like, a 9mm or something. But, and okay, so yeah, you approach Stringer's door.
And Marcellus?
Now, your door, Stringer, did you leave your door open?
No.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead if you had something for Marcellus. Go ahead.
Yeah. Did you mention Coil when in the message?
I did. I said he knew Kyle.
Yep.
But I don't know.
In that case, I'll give Coil a phone call.
Okay. She will answer.
Yep.
Hey, Stringer, what's going on? Have you met Vasily yet?
Is that the fucking monster that's smashing people's doors down?
I don't know why he'd be smashing doors down. She says. She says, shit. She says, hold on a second. You hear some kind of ruffling around. She goes, oh, crap. Stringer, I'm sorry, she says. I was supposed to text you or text you earlier and let you know. I vouch for him. There's a guy named Vasily. He's a solo. He wants to help with Robert Roberts' situation. He's coming to see you guys. Have a good day. I'll talk to you
I love
later.
it.
You're not saying anything
Okay.
right away, so she's like, okay, talk to you later. Bye. I
Right.
rolled for it. I rolled, she's sometimes a little flighty and stuff, and I rolled for it earlier. And yeah. Oh, there you go. So now you know. So yeah, you approach Stringer's door. You're going to do the same thing as at the other doors?
Yep, give it a knock.
Okay. So yeah, you hit the button, you knock a couple of times. So in Stringer, yes, there is somebody knocking at your door.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, this door feels different.
yeah, this door is more solid. When you're knocking on it, it sounds and just feels heavier, reinforced or something maybe.
I mean, I don't want to break it. I just want someone to answer.
Yeah.
Are you going to respond, Stringer?
Yeah, I'll go to the door. I'll, use the intercom.
And it
yeah,
popped.
yeah.
Yep. Audio comes up. Video pops right up. It is the guy you saw in the cameras. It's the guy that you would reasonably assume broke down the other doors. You didn't actually see him do it, but it's a reasonable assumption that's what happened. But yeah, he's out there and he's boom, 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 knocking kind of heavily on your door.
I'm going to have the boomer buster in my hand, down by my side. I'm going to open the door a little bit, and if he does anything aggressive, I'm diving to
It'll
the
be
floor underneath the arc of the minigun.
Gotcha. Okay. So, door cracks open. You see. Let's see. You didn't say you're wearing armor or anything. You're wearing your suit.
Yeah.
In fact, let's see. It's been a night and everything. Would you want to do your wardrobe and style and stuff real quick? Your wardrobe and style and grooming. Because perception is reality, you know. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the door cracks open. You see Stringer on the other side, well dressed, well groomed. You'd think the guy was on TV or something. Oh wait, he is. Let's see. Are you gonna have the Boomer Buster where it can be seen, or you said you're down at your side, right? So not necessarily
Down at my side, so I don't have to
Okay.
draw it. I only just have to whip it up.
Okay. So, yeah, you see Stringer on the other side of the door. You guys go.
Yeah. You said Coyle sent you.
Yes.
What does she look like?
Oh, small.
Really?
I mean, everyone's small compared to me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But does he give an accurate description of her?
Yes, he does. Well, no, let me rephrase that. He has an accurate description of her. What he says is what he says.
Yep.
He does know what she, Surat, you do know what she looks like. You could give an accurate description, but you say whatever you want to say, you know?
I'll give the basics, like the hair color
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is it that you want?
Well, I intend to disrupt the Robert Roberts redevelopment plans, and I simply do not have the expertise to do that myself.
Oh. Well, I'm really just reporting on what's going on. I'm not that directly involved in disrupting their plans myself.
But you have information I can perhaps use.
Yeah, I do have some.
Well, if you know any important figures that are driving the project forward, you could give me their names. I could have details on them, and perhaps convince them politely to change their plans.
Yeah. Well, there's two fixers. Nolan Noah and Ben Medulla. They are two of the public faces behind this. And originally they were, the people who were helping to clean up this area. Now they want to pull it down, so.
And
Not to be trusted. And they were probably behind the murder of the other fixers who were cleaning the place up.
They have arranged killings.
I would say almost certainly.
In which case, I don't need to feel so bad about what I do to them. Well, perhaps we have a mutually beneficial arrangement. If you were to arrange some sort of meeting I could have with one or two of them, and perhaps they will either change their mind or lose their head. Depending, of
Marcellus,
course.
you of course are within range and hear of this entire conversation, but are still neither Stringer nor Surat. Neither you guys know that he's there or nearby.
No, Stringer does. I told him I was coming
Oh,
up
you
behind
told
him.
him you were okay. But
Yeah.
okay, so Surat doesn't know you're there, but you're just a few doors down the hallway. Found a way to conceal yourself and are listening to the conversation.
Yeah. Also, apart from Robert Roberts, when the buildings have been blown up, it's been Arasaka samurai who've been coming in to keep anyone from the area at bay and to take out any survivors. So you may want to look into that.
Possibly.
But as far as Robert Roberts is concerned, we're trying to get whatever information we can on them. Trouble is their main computer systems are offline, so that's proving difficult.
Well, I cannot help with computers. I know people that can help with computers, but not me. I'm more of a kick down the door and rip the building apart sort of approach.
Yeah.
So, is there any information you could give that my particular skills would be useful?
It will occur to you, Stringer, that it would have been really nice to have had him along last night.
Yeah. But we don't know who he is yet, so I am not going to mention
That's true.
anything concerning breaking into Robert Roberts.
No, you do have Coyle's word vouching for him, but of course it's only worth whatever you feel like. You've known her a while. But no, I'm fine with how you're proceeding. I didn't mean it that way. It was just a thought, my thought.
But
no, you're
yeah,
good.
I trust Coyle on the matter,
You're
but
fine.
she might not have the correct information.
Right. Absolutely. She may have been fooled by something. No, good to be cautious.
Absolutely.
So, well, there'll be some more of us along later. Maybe you want to meet up at the Forlorn Hope tonight about 10 o'clock.
Well, I don't have any other options. It seems to be all I really can do at this point.
Yes, well, in that case, I'll see you there.
Did you open the door up more at any point? Or are you just still talking through the crack?
Opened it up about wide enough so we can see my, all of my face.
Okay. All right. So you still
probably hear the rotary whir behind me.
Oh, well, that's true. Do you have a Surat? Do you have weaponsmith or heavy weapons? Either one.
I have weaponsmith to 3.
Okay. So if you do an awareness and weaponsmith.
Awareness and weaponsmith.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you can probably actually look straight over my head.
Now, well, that's true. You're 6'8". How tall are you, Stringer? Actually, you're right. So in that case, you just need
about 5'10".
So yeah, just awareness is sufficient. In that case, you're not just going by sound. You'll be able to see it probably. Yep. A few feet, maybe 8, 10 feet, whatever, down the hallway behind Stringer inside the condo, there is what looks like. Are you a player? Are you familiar with the Apex point defense systems?
Nope.
Okay. Basically, they are a building. You like mount it on top of a building or in a parking lot or wherever in an area, and it's fully automated. And anything that isn't considered a friend or foe type system, it puts a whole lot of bullets in. Okay, but they're huge. This is a mini version of that. where the big ones can take out aircraft. Okay, this is a mini, big suitcase style sized box, but otherwise looks similar to a point defense system, and it's got a turret on it that's kind of scanning back and forth, watching the hallway.
Because of spotters, I'd like to say to Stringer, do you consider me a threat for some reason?
Yes.
Why?
Because A, I don't know you, and B, is it now 1, 2, 3 times now we've had the corps send their goons after us?
Oh, I can assure you I'm not corporate at all.
Can I make a human perception roll on this?
Yes, you may.
I will also do the same.
Yeah. All right. And I've just got a minute left. I gotta go here as soon as we get through this part. I'm gonna have to jump off. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Damn. All right.
Okay. Well, I'll roll anyway.
Alrighty then. Alrighty. That's the way things work. Okay. So, and I was gonna come up with something for Vasily for you to roll as a to make it an opposed roll, but in this case, I don't think it's really necessary. Marcellus, you believe every word as far as it goes. You believe everything he's saying. He's just somebody who, for some reason, doesn't like Robert Roberts and wants to help fight him. I mean, he hasn't said otherwise. He might have been hired by somebody, or who knows. It doesn't matter. He's here to help. He's a solo, and he's here to help. Stringer, there is no doubt in your mind this guy had a significant amount of corporate training. Obviously, he's not a corp. He's a solo. There's no doubt about that. But he's had a lot of training. Now, that doesn't mean that he's a corporate stooge or whatever, or goon or whatever. But he has had a lot of corporate training, very structured training, you would guess, from that high roll.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But you know how it goes. You would, as a character, you would know just because he's had all that doesn't mean he is or isn't being honest right now. But to say that he has anything ever to do with the corporation or with the corp is obviously not true to you. Obvious to you. Yeah. Do you have anything that would affect this results here? Do you think, Sewer Rep?
Not really.
Okay, just checking. Make sure I wasn't missing something. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so that's where you guys are. Yeah, you want to continue your conversation for a moment? But
well, in that case, they meet us at the Forlorn Hope tonight at 10. We can talk further.
Indeed, I will do that.
You're just gonna
At which point I'll
go ahead. Sorry.
say goodbye, lock the door, and go back to going through my the papers.
All right.
Then if nothing happens after about half an hour, I will stand down the minigun and...
Okay.
Well, I've seen the minigun. I'll probably come through the wall if I want to get you.
There's that. I'm going to go back around one more time, and then we're going to have to close it for now, for today's session. Yep. Mirage, you are being pampered. You're getting the full treatment. I mean,
I'm
it's
loving
like,
life.
and it's It's incredible. It's a great deal. The sedative they use for during surgery is really smooth. The way it comes on, you're just have a completely relaxing rest while they're doing the surgery stuff. You wake up smoothly. When you wake up, it's like you're in you're in body cure basically. That's basically part of what this is. Although you don't get any extra bonus beyond the two. But yeah, you're in a spa environment as you come out of the anesthetic. Yeah, you're having a great time. Good day.
Until I get home.
Until you get home. Or even back out on the street, we'll see. Sewer Rat, yes, you had this conversation. What is your plan from here? Are you just going to go back to your place, or do you have something else you want to do for the day?
There's nothing I really can do from that point.
As far as
okay. I'm actually going to head to the meeting location early just so I kind of get away through the place.
Okay. I'll give you a full description. We'll go over that in a bit, or next session, I mean then. Marcellus, the Vasily, the Russian, will head back which we didn't even... I'm not going to go into it at this point. I don't have time, but we'll have to talk about stairs or elevator next time. But anyway, he heads down the hallway, back downstairs, and if you follow him, he'd leave the building, go down the road. Do you want to continue to follow him, or are you going to stay in the building?
No, I'm going to stay in the building, and then once he's gone by, I will just go and see Stringer.
Okay. We'll have to have that meeting next week. You're going to go see Stringer once he's out of the building, so it'll just be maybe 5 or 10 minutes after his conversation with Stringer. You'll see him. But we'll have that next week.
Yeah.
Stringer, you said what you're doing already. Between him leaving before you get the point defense systems brought it down, put away, Marcellus is going to be knocking on your door, but we'll do that next time. And that's where we're leaving it for today. There you go. Thank you, everyone.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
A little both more and less exciting session than I was expecting. Different ways, different ways. But that was great. So, yes, Surat, thank you. Welcome to the game. We'll talk in Discord or whatever in between. If not, see you next week. See everybody next week. Thank you, viewers. Looks like we got a few people watching. Appreciate that.
Cool.
And, the normal stuff. If there's anyone that is interested in Cyberpunk, ask them to take a look at the YouTube channels, PunkGenerator, and or Twitch, any of those. Sub and all that stuff. Thank you. See you next week. Bye, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Oh, shit.
See you next week.
Yep, see ya.